Morning from sunny Pratamnak Hill, Jomtien, Pattaya, Thailand. So it's 8:45 and I'm on my blog. I did about $500 yesterday revenue for the subscription blog, members blog, and FreeTheAnimal.com. And so figure, heck, I'm gonna go drop $10 on a breakfast. So there's a place that's it's less than a kilometer walk, but let's make a a 3.2 kilometer round trip out of it. So I'm going the roundabout way. Give me a chance to talk. It's called Irish Wolfhound Pub and Restaurant. Now, looked it up. The menu has both, some Irish breakfast style and British breakfast style, or English breakfast style, if you will. Pub fare. So, there's Irish pubs, British pubs, or I guess you could say English. There's so much nuance to all this stuff. It's kind of like listening to the gender fluid people talk, really. Because you got British, but British is UK, so that's England, Wales, and Scotland. But you have the Republic of Ireland, which is a different country. So you have Brexit, British exit from EU, but Ireland is still in the EU. Now then there's also Northern Ireland. Now, Northern Ireland is, I believe, part of the UK, so they went along with Brexit. And I guess the Northern Irish can kind of refer to themselves as British too. So they're Irish British, and if they wish they were still in the EU, like their brethren to the south, they could be Irish British Unionists. Does that about cover it? Okay. So anyway, I'm going there. They do good breakfast. There's an old American joke say about going to visit England. Said, oh yeah, I went to England and the food was excellent. I ate breakfast 3 times a day. But no, it's not really true. Pub food is excellent. Bangers and mash, fish and chips. You got Sunday roast, and they do an excellent job on the side dishes. Amazed me, actually. Cottage pie, shepherd's pie, on and on. They got some great stuff. So it's kind of a deal, but we all like to make fun of each other, right? So what do I got? I'm going to talk about just a couple things. First of all, if you notice at the top of the blog, I've changed the kind of intro to it. It's called Eat the Elephant. I referred to that on the walk a little bit ago, and it came to me in dealing with the girl a couple months ago, because when we were separated, she got herself into some big ass problems. I'm not gonna go into it, but it's fucking crazy, and I had the choice of walk away or do something about it, and I chose to do something about it because of her girls. And anybody who's willing to think I'm a fool for that all they fucking want, I don't give a shit. Fuck off. Oh, you're raising somebody else's kid. Yeah, he was 45 last February when he died of liver cancer, their father. So fuck off again. Anyway, See, gotta get a rant in, gotta get a rant in. So, anyway, this whole, I've just been kind of thinking a lot about this idea, and something I can offer on the blog is this idea of eating the elephant. You know what it is, how do you eat an elephant? You know, one bite at a time. Well, so it's about that. I get asked a lot, or not asked so much as people who say, oh man, I really envy your lifestyle, going out, living. I just can't imagine, you know, doing this and this, and I've got this and this and this, and it's really kind of humorous to me. It's like, what do you think, you're gonna live for fucking ever? You know, that shit is fairy tale, man, right? You're dead, you're gone, you're dust. It's all over. So you better figure out what you desire and dream of now, and it'll be an elephant if it's good. And then you gotta say, okay, how do I break this down into bite-sized pieces? It's that simple, right? I can help with that. You know, it was, and you know, sometimes, like in my case, it's kind of a fuzzy desire. I just knew mostly what a lot of elements were, and when I moved here to Thailand, I'd already spent 8 years, well, 7 years, about 7 years of my life living abroad. You know, 5 years in Japan and 2 years in France. So I was no stranger to, you know, any kind of culture shock. You know, you want culture shock, moved to Japan in 1984 at the age of 23 years old, you know. And I didn't yes, I was in the Navy, but first thing I did was get my own place 10 kilometers away from the damn Navy base. I wanted to live in Japan, so I did that. And and you learn real quick. This is easy, and you don't get much more of a cultural difference than America and Japan. You know, France was a cakewalk for that after 5 years. So anyway, that's it. The elephant. Stay tuned for that. I've got a post and draft. My recent one was it about the stupid Oscar, Jamie Lee Curtis's Oscar, they them Oscar, for her quote transgender quote son, you know, her daughter, yeah, her son decided to start wearing women's clothes and look like a ugly fat chick. So you know, and now, you know, that's just the greatest thing you can do. Kind of like getting an abortion, just the greatest thing you can do. Fuck off. I will not. You want to be called they, them? Fuck you. Fuck you. So, but I'll be happy to leave you alone. But if there's going to be an association, then I'm not going to ignore fucking reality. And I'm not going to speak in purposefully grammatically incorrect English either. So anyway, that's that. The other thing is I'm working to post on Andrew Tate. This falls under the category of, if everybody is saying the same thing, you know it's completely fucking wrong. Principle, it will never be violated. Never. Because the only way everybody in the world, or almost, you know, when you're talking like upwards of 90% plus, is saying, believing the same thing, the only reason you can do that is to craft a clever narrative lie, right? Otherwise, it'll be more like a, you know, 40-60, 50-50, you know, maybe 70-30. But no, you're gonna have a lot more detractors than if it's crafted. You know, the Ukraine bullshit, that's how I knew was wrong right off the bat. Everybody's saying the same thing. Same with COVID. Everybody's saying the same thing. And contradicting well-established scientific principles in epidemiology, virology, immunology. And then excommunicating like Berkeley professors, Stanford professors, Oxford professors, Nobel Prize laureates. Yeah, it's wrong. Same with the vax. Everybody on board, it's wrong. Automatically, you know. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. It's wrong. There's a white man in a chair called God. It's wrong. Automatically. 100%. You're right 100% of the time when you go against a narrative that's upwards of 90% support amongst the population, because people are fucking stupid, ignorant and stupid. What's that saying? Nobody ever went broke by overestimating the stupidity of the populace. Say that again. So, okay, in terms of Andrew Tate, I've actually, because everybody is blah 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 on it, I look into it. I was just peripherally aware of the dude, and he's mutual friends of a good friend of mine. So there's that, a friend I respect a lot. So there's that. So, you know, it helps when you have a first-hand perspective like that, and then everything else, right? But it's not that's not the reason I'm doing a post about it. What I'm doing is the shit they don't want you to hear. Because if you hear it, which none of the media the closest it came to giving you a full context treatment was his interviews with Piers Morgan. So if you looked into those in full context, it's one thing. You could also listen to all the chicks he supposedly trafficked and kept as sex slaves, saying him and his brother are the greatest guys ever. You know, just little things like that. People with actual first-hand knowledge and experience. So all of you without that, who are jumping on the bus, which is virtue signaling, right? Fuck off. And I'm gonna show you how you should fuck off. All right, so that's the next thing. The other thing is AI, artificial intelligence. Now I've been really head down deep the last few days with ChatGPT, which is out now in version 4.0. To say I am amazed is a huge understatement. It is, I tell people, I say, I have had better conversations with this chat bot than I've ever had with a human being. And I mean ever, I mean zero exceptions. And you won't know that until you try it. Now, as some who are aware of it know, that it's partially locked down because of wokeness and leftism and all various other things like COVIDiacy and politics, you know. I mean, everybody's given examples of that, but that's its fucktarded programming. It's like it's created by idiot savants. You have a guy that can tell you what the weather was in Cleveland, Ohio on Friday, November 5th, 1987, but can't get his pants on straight. You know, that's the kind of thing you're dealing with. I mean, the programming and database and the language model, I think it's called, is just crazy. It's unbelievable. And what's cool, but you find that you're dealing with honesty, which is essentially logic. What is logic? Logic is the art of non-contradictory identification. Now, in mathematics, you don't need to use the art word, right? It's just non-contradiction, right? But when you're dealing with language, that's where the art comes in. How do you express it? And this chat thing is a language model. It can do math too. It can do computer. It can write code. It's amazing. I mean, I gave it, you know, some of you know I'm a fan of Ayn Rand's work. Read all of her nonfiction or fiction. I haven't read anything in 20 years, 30 years. Really, I think the last book I read of hers was early 90s. But I'm very well versed in it. And every once in a while I reference it. And my primary tool for that is the Ayn Rand lexicon, which is a lexicon, and it incorporates all of her fiction and nonfiction into various topics, gives you quotes from it. It's 400 pages. I gave the chatbot the link to those 400 pages. It reviewed all 400 in under 1 second, and gave me a comprehensive, objective review in under 20 seconds. You can see it, type it out on the screen. And it was very cogent and objective. There's no bias, you know, see, because an AI like that, they don't have values. So if you don't have values, you don't have biases. It's just words, right? And it uses predictive language. So that's the art of it is. And you do this too. I've addressed this before. You know, when you're having a conversation with someone, part of the reason you say what you say is because you're predicting what they're gonna say in return. You're looking forward in the conversation. We do it naturally, right? So if you're honest, you do it in a way to make yourself as clear as possible, because you might see what's coming, right? So you can go two ways. You can like inflame, or you can clarify. That's honest behavior. If you're dishonest, you can throw in a manipulation, a guilt trip, a shaming thing in it in order to steer their response one way or another, right? Well, the chat isn't going to do that. It's not trying to get you to think a certain way. It's just saying, here's the issue. First, it does a review, which is, it blows my mind how comprehensive it is, you know, and then it will say, you know, basically give you its thoughts. And they're like, yeah, that's reasonable, right? So there's a kind of a almost godlike character to it. And it makes me wonder if human consciousness is kind of trumped up as something it's not really, it really isn't. Maybe language itself is human consciousness. Language itself. All right, so that's what I have for right now. So I got a lot of stuff coming down the pike, and let me see, I'll pop back on when I get to the restaurant, or if I find something of note. We've walked this path before. There's something to point out. So you see the 7-Eleven right out in front with barbecue smoke thing. Motorcycle stopped in front. And that's actually a food delivery guy, Food Panda. But they do, starting at 5 a.m. every morning, skewers of chicken wings, chicken pieces, pork pieces, chicken heart, or chicken livers, 5 baht each. Each skewer is 1 bite or 2 bites, depending on how big of a bite you want. 5 baht. So, for example, if I get 8 pork or 10 pork, 8 chicken, and 2 bags of sticky rice, it's 100 baht, which is about a little less than $3, $2.75, something like that. So pretty good breakfast, and it's substantial. That's a lot. Here's another one, but they're all over. There's another one I know of too. So, oh, this one has fish too, but there's and that's what that's the offerings right there. See? Tall Eastern Euro chick, a lot of them. They remind me of when I was in Tokyo. I used to go up there all the time from 84 to 89, living in Japan. And you know, Tokyo is like, you know, London, New York, Paris in terms of modeling type stuff. So you had lots of, and the Japanese were enamored of including Western women in a lot of their marketing for modeling. So you had tons of models there. You know, the biggest thing, they're all tall. They're all of them at least 5'8", 9, 10 at least. And because they're so slender, it makes them look even taller, and especially for a woman, right? You would think, oh, they're like 6 feet, 6'1", 2, 3. Now they're like 5'9", but they're just so slender they look taller, right? Typically have small breasts too, right? Because if you have big ones, then you're limited in what you can do. If you can have small ones, you know, augmentation is possible if whatever they're modeling calls for that, right? I heard an executive once said, we don't care about breasts, they can be concave. So anyway, but they won't, just what I was gonna say is those chicks, they won't give you the time of day, you know. Then they do these Eastern Euros. They're like Melania Trump. They call, what do they call it? Resting bitch face. They may not be sultry or angry or whatever or not. It's just the natural way their face looks. So it's kind of intimidating if you had you know, intent on approaching them. And I think they like it that way. They probably only want to be approached by 6'4" and above hunks, you know. So exclusive and exclusive with exclusive, that sort of thing. That's fine, you know. stay in your market. Stay in your market. Okay. Some places here, the Muse Restaurant Lounge. Gotta take a look at that. These look like nice places. Looks like there's a pool area in the center, wider than what I'm. Mine is the problem with the pool. It's so narrow between the two buildings. The pool literally gets sun for 2 hours a day. You know, kind of aggravating. And here I am at the Irish Wolfhound restaurant. So I guess I'll try breakfast. They have a So just finished breakfast up there, and I'm just looking at the area here. It's actually some pretty cool places. That's some pretty eclectic front there. I like it. And then behind me, there's a couple of restaurants here that have quite a few people. This place, Cafe, which is like a co-working space. You know, they have these co-working spaces where you go in and work. I don't get it. You know, they had tons of them in Chiang Mai when I used to live there. It's like people to go and like half socialize in working, and they're like doing all the Amazon FBO, you know, fulfilled by Amazon type businesses, stuff like that. Like drop shipping type stuff, a lot of that, you know. And they sit around and shoot the shit a lot. You know, they're all young. It's not my vibe. I didn't like it. You know, when I like to do business or play, not mix the two, or pretend like I'm working. You know. But you know, you learn that shit over time. If you can do it, you can do it. You know, a lot of them network in some way or another. Like suppose they're really good at SEO or web design or something like that. So you could go to one of those working on your business and then, you know, find some guy or gal who's like good at that, or a photographer or a graphic designer. So there is those opportunities. I give them that for sure. And then you have a personal, you know, face-to-face relationship, which is almost always superior to the impersonal online type stuff. So the breakfast, it was good. The food itself was good. I'll do a picture, but I mean, it was like, it's like everything that annoys me about Thai staffed restaurants was present. Everything. I mean, they didn't skip a beat. They touched every base, right? So first of all, you go in there, and because they don't recognize they don't say, oh, he's a regular, come to your face, you get completely ignored, right? Even though it wasn't that busy. But like, you know, there's a girl behind the bar counter. She's more interested in putting out her Buddha crap, you know, and they all do this, you know. They have their little shrines, you know. So that was important. And then you had the waitress, older lady, who is capable of doing 80% of one thing at a time. You know. So even though she's like waiting a table, so she's bringing food out to one table, right? And there's 4 guys there, 4 Chinese guys. And, you know, and she brings it out piecemeal. One guy didn't even get his food till the others were completely finished, table cleared. You know, that's another thing in Thailand. There is no such thing as bringing everybody's food out at the same time. Timing it that way, right? So, you know, I'd get there and I'd walk, and it's hot. It's hot and humid, so I was pretty sweaty. I would have liked to have the overhead fan turned on and maybe a menu. Easy to do that, you know, see that I'm there, grab a menu, serve the plate, drop off the menu at my place, I'll be back. You know, typical easy stuff like that. Nope. Midai. Midai means cannot. It's the most often used expression in all of Thailand, I believe. So I think this is down to where I want to go here, because I got something to show you. So I then she finally comes. I get the fan turned on. This is like 10 minutes, right? Trying not to be too perturbed. And so there's a small breakfast. You know, there's a couple things like an omelet or beans on toast and stuff like that. And there's a small breakfast and a big breakfast. Right? They got pictures. So, you know, the big breakfast has like some, I think some black pudding, an extra another rasher bacon, you know, 2 pieces of toast, you know, that sort of thing. And so, or the big breakfast, and it's juice, tea, or coffee. I ordered juice. Okay, so waiting. You know, sometime later she comes back. She says, "Is it coffee?" I said, "No, orange juice." Right. So then the breakfast gets there. I'm like, "Huh, that doesn't look right," but it was good. It was good. It's 2 eggs, a potato, kind of like a potato cake, though it was not a cake. It was like a real piece of potato. It was well done, but you know, lightly golden fried. It was good. And then, oh yeah, here it is, Kinnaree parking. Let me stop here. And so then, I think I get the bill, and she had given me the small breakfast. So she got the order, so to make me wait, get the order wrong, not remember that it's juice I want. I did get the juice. It's good juice, fresh squeezed, you know. And it's just funny. Just funny. I still gave him a tip, 20 baht tip. I'll be back because the food is good and it's close. You know, like I say, know the terrain, know the territory. You know, I'm just saying, I'm not really complaining. I'm not butthurt. It's actually kind of humorous. Anyway, okay, so now let me shift the camera here because I'm going to show you a famous place, and this is for guys only. I imagine you can Google this. I know about it because I heard about it when I used to live in Jomtien. That was kind of during COVID days. I never did check it out. It has a big parking lot. Now it's called Kinnaree. It's a lounge. It's a gentleman's club, but it's so it opens at noon, and by 7, 8 o'clock at night they're closing down. It's definitely an afternoon place. Food, they've got great. I've only been in there once. That was when I first got here with my buddy that helped me move after a dinner over at Mike's Mexican. He'd drive me back. We stopped in there, and he said, "Just want to show you." But they were closed down already. It was 8 o'clock at night. But so they've got great food from all accounts I've ever heard, and every day is special. So they have like a barbecue day, a burgers, hot dogs day. They do. They have the Sunday dinner, you know, English style, all of that, and of course they have an upper level of female talent, and they have short time rooms. So what are called short time rooms, and apparently you can have your food comped, if you know what I mean. So that's that. It's 200 meters away from my place, right? But you know, I'm not really interested. Not that I can't or anything like that. It's just like I have a different focus right now, a much different focus right now. I've got better things to spend that kind of money on, because I would be, you know, with the food and well, I don't do the alcohol, but you know, everything, and you know, an afternoon delight like that, you know, you're talking in the range of 80 to $100 bucks. I don't need to be doing that. Got better things to spend that kind of money on. So, and home is just right there. I wasn't shitting. It's like 100 yards to the corner, 100 yards down to my place, 200 or meters. So, trying to use the thing. All right, so that concludes this morning's neighborhood walk to breakfast and back, 3.2 kilometers. Bye.